I swear, practicing how to love every part of oneself is such a fucking challenge, especially parts that are like really not so great. You know, what if you're jealous? What if you're Machiavellian? What if you manipulate people? You know, if you're a people pleaser, you definitely do it. You know, if you're empathetic, you do it. it's like it's a continuous like learning and unlearning and like having compassion for all of these parts of you, all of these ways you're just trying to interact with the world, trying to get your needs met, trying to be loved, trying to be seen. And it's so insidious, you know? You know this thing where you try to integrate all parts of yourself so you can be whole, so you're not looking for things outside of you. That's great, but you don't even see. You only see to the level of your current perception, which is limited. And we always see this, especially if you're someone who's on this channel, you know, you can probably look back like 3 years, 5 years and say, whoa, life is completely different. I'm completely different. I don't process things the same way. One thing that's been on my mind lately is how empathetic people, self-proclaimed empathetic people, and let me just add, this is only happening because I'm seeing other people reflect this of themselves, how they're willing to quickly point and say, that person's a narcissist, this person has bad intent, they're manipulating me, and self-proclaim that they're better, that they're an empath, right? That they wouldn't do that, that they would give so much and they wouldn't take. I don't really like how that dichotomy is forming. And maybe it's a journey that you have to go on to realize that you yourself are just the same as them. And how are you to say that they're doing it intentionally? You're not doing it intentionally. You think you're doing good. You're people pleasing. You're hiding parts of yourself. You're diminishing yourself in front of others, trying to be small so you're not too much. We do this not knowingly, but we can look back and be like, wow, I was really small in that dynamic. I was very much trying to get my needs met through being what I wanted the other person to be. And that's manipulation. It's not pretty, but it is. And even like here's the craziest thing. Even if you get past that and you can see it for what it is, that you manipulate others to get your needs met, that everyone is doing it whether conscious or not, there's no genuine, pure, unattached, detached, unconditional love. Truly. And people have, you know, I did a video on this and, you know, I've since unprivated, like it's a hard one because I don't know if it's actually true. Because I think if you are genuinely detached, it's just a reality I'm not there with. I like the idea of getting there because self sufficiency sounds sexy. It sounds like something that I've been drawn to my entire life. It's like, well, I don't actually believe anyone can meet my needs or see me fully. So I'm going to do that for me. And I'm going to hold the control by being the better person. And, but it's not real. But it's not real because that only that only happens for so long, you know? And then something will creep in. Maybe it's something you saw at the beginning. Maybe it's something that always happens in dynamics. Something creeps in to start building this narrative, this case of why this person is treating you poorly. And even if you stop that, because we all kind of do, we all just try to like, where's the love? Where's the love when we do that? Where's the love for ourselves? Where's the love for others? And I find that like a lot of people are just having relationship dynamics like this, where you're not just safe to just like explore what intimacy means. You know, it's always this like, gotta grab you, like, you know, now we gotta be together, you know, we can't just explore. And I've been guilty of this, you know, wanting to like have something secure, have something I can grab onto, kind of keep in a little box. It's not pretty to say that, right? But that's made me feel safe. But that's just stupid, really, because it creates this false like connection because you're like, well, we're this. And then there's all the expectations that come with that from either side, however you're looking at it, what you do know, what you don't know, what's spoken, what's unspoken. And it's just like, it's exhausting. Like, I never thought I'd say this, but I think there should be a space to explore intimate romantic relationships without the baggage of commitment. You know what I mean? And I don't mean just having sex. I don't mean just, being physically naked with one another and getting off on that. I mean true intimacy, but with the caveat that like it's okay if we find that we cannot mesh. It's okay if we get mirrors back to ourselves that show us we're not ready for this or we need this in a different capacity. You know, I don't know if you can relate, but there's like this horrible beam, and it's probably some sort of like something, it's obviously going on in me, but like there's this desire to be close and intimate and have someone who can see me and love me. But then at a certain point, that's my dog saying, if you loved me, you'd give me TERATs. But I'll get up in a second. But then there's this point where it's like, no, I know, like, I don't want this. I don't want this. I can't do this. I don't want this. But it's not that honest. It's not that honest. It creates this story about how the other person is not right, about how it's just dumb, And I think we're fortunate if we're given opportunities where we can be intimate with another and there isn't this need for control and commitment. And I don't know what that looks like, to tell you the truth. I don't know what that looks like, and I don't know what's unfolding. But I think there's a space where we all need to heal, where there isn't this expectation that we have to have things a certain way, that, people have to continue. I don't know. There's something here that I'm trying to put my finger on, and it's so different from how I've seen things. I've always thought like, eventually, you'll heal yourself enough and you'll find, a better suited partner. But look, I'm 32. I've done a lot of healing. I have a lot more healing to do, sure. But I don't even know if I want that. Like, I don't even know if long-term commitment is even possible based on the closeness, the beginning, and then the real need for independency and freedom and ability to breathe that comes about inevitably, always, always. And I'm not alone, This isn't new. This isn't something revolutionary. This isn't something isolated to me. I just feel that if there's like a mutually understanding that we're just figuring things out, we're just exploring, that could be a safe space to get a mere reflection of places we need to heal. Or or is this an avoidant way of trying to get some needs met but also keeping the door open? Maybe it is. But what's wrong with that? Maybe it is based in fear and not wanting to be suffocated, to not be free, to feel that you're now emotionally entangled with someone and you just can't let go. That's not freedom. That's not love. Maybe it's love, but fuck it. Fuck that shit. Like, why can't we just... Am I like trying to sell hippie thing? Should we start a cult? I don't even know. Like, but if anyone relates, I'd love to hear, because it seems like a lot of healing can happen in relationships and we see parts of ourselves that we can't otherwise. And if we're in a good enough headspace, we can use all this as fuel to be better, to have more compassion for ourselves and others. But sometimes things can get way out of hand and the scales start tipping to where this has become something that is taken away versus giving. So I don't know. Or maybe I'm just completely fucked up and, people who have healthy relationships are better at this and it comes natural. And I'm looking at it from the lens and experience of, well, I don't know. But yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.